You know, when I joke about a crudité, which is a way of speaking about how ridiculous it is that you can't even put vegetables on a plate in the middle of a campaign, we'll do whatever we need to do to make sure the people of Pennsylvania respect what we're about, and that we're going to work as hard as we can to fix their problems. It's what I've done my whole life. It's what I'll continue to do.
Hello and welcome to What the F*** Just Happened Today, your essential guide to the daily shock and awe in national politics. I'm Joe Amditis. Let's get to it. It's Wednesday, August 17th, 2022. Welcome to day 575. The director of the CDC announced a restructuring of the agency to transform it in order to better respond to public health emergencies. CDC Director Rochelle Walensky said the agency had failed to effectively respond to the coronavirus pandemic, saying, quote, "In our big moment, our performance did not reliably meet expectations," end quote. Walensky's plan calls for less emphasis on the publication of scientific papers about rare diseases and more focus on efforts that prioritize public health needs by more rapidly turning research into health recommendations. The restructuring follows two reviews conducted in recent months into the CDC's pandemic response and its operations. Moving on, Federal Reserve officials indicated that they likely need to continue raising interest rates until inflation comes down substantially. Last month, officials voted to raise the Fed's benchmark rate by 0.75 percentage points in July, following June's increase of the same size, the largest rate increases since 1994. Overall retail sales, meanwhile, were unchanged in July, slowed by the falling price of gasoline. Excluding the sale of gas and cars, retail sales rose 0.7% last month. Back in D.C., Mike Pence says he would consider testifying before the January 6th committee, quote, if there was an invitation, end quote. He added, quote, "I would have to reflect on the unique role that I was serving as vice president. It would be unprecedented in history for the vice president to be summoned to testify on Capitol Hill. But, as I said, I don't want to prejudge ever any formal invitation rendered to us," end quote. During that same event, Pence also called on Republicans to stop attacking the FBI over the search of Mar-a-Lago. In Wyoming, Liz Cheney lost her Republican primary for that state's House seat by more than 35 points to a candidate that was endorsed by Donald Trump. Quote, "This primary election is over, but now the real work begins," Cheney said during her concession speech, noting that she had called her opponent, Harriet Hageman, to congratulate her. Cheney, however, said she plans to be part of a bipartisan coalition that will do, quote, "whatever it takes," end quote, to keep Trump from holding office again, saying, quote, "I believe that Donald Trump continues to pose a very grave threat and risk to our republic," end quote. Cheney also acknowledged that she was thinking about running for president in 2024. Cheney is now the 8th of 10 House Republicans who voted to impeach Trump to leave the House. 4 others have opted against running for re-election, and another 4 lost their GOP primaries. And finally, the Department of Homeland Security's Inspector General refused congressional requests for documents and staff testimony about the deleted Secret Service text messages that agents exchanged during the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Joseph Kufari told Congress last month that Secret Service text messages from January 5th and 6th of 2021 had been erased. His office, however, had delayed telling Congress about the missing messages for months. The House Committees on Homeland Security and Oversight and Reform accused Kufari of intentionally delaying their investigation into the Capitol attack, saying his, quote, "justifications for this noncompliance appear to reflect a fundamental misunderstanding of Congress's authority and your duties as an inspector general," end quote. The lawmakers also called on Kufari to recuse himself from the investigation, a demand he also refused, and then blocked the release of some records and interviews with staff members. That's all for now. You can find the links and sources for all of these stories on the main website. And as always, visit whatthefjusthappenedtoday.com for the latest news and headlines. Until next time, I'm Joe Amditis.